Hello, friends and family. It's a beautiful day outside, but as you can see, I'm stuck in the kitchen. So this afternoon, I'm bored, so I decided to make Asian dish, kung pao chicken, very simple, and shrimp fried rice. If you ever gone to a restaurant and been disappointed, you'll be happy to know that Google is your best friend and that you can find your best recipes actually on google.com. So anyway, here are the basic ingredients. Okay, for your shrimp fried rice, I prefer wild caught any shrimp, either Gulf Coast from the Gulf of Mexico. I really like this brand from Sam's Club. It's an Argentine red wild caught shrimp. Works just fine. It's already shelled in the vein. The only thing you just thaw it, little lemon juice, and pat it dry, and you're done. I also, as I mentioned earlier, I like a little chopped carrots. I like to jazz up my rice with also some green onions and mixed vegetables, which you can buy frozen as well. So that takes care of the rice. For the kung pao chicken, I also have some chopped carrots, garlic, green onions, not the avocado, and an array of chopped bell pepper, celery, a little carrots, and I do like some chopped zucchini for the stir-fried vegetable portion of the kung pao chicken. So now we're waiting for our chicken to marinate, and later I'll show you how you stir this all up, and you can pretty much be done with dinner in about 20-25 minutes. In your shrimp fried rice, if you want to jazz it up a little bit, you can add mixed vegetables, preferably frozen, but if you have some leftover mixed vegetables, hey, by all means use them. Okay, next thing we need to look at. We need to go over to look at the marinade. So give me a second. Here's my marinade. For your basic marinade, you simply need a fat, salt, an acid like apple cider vinegar or balsamic vinegar, cooking sherry, red wine, enzymes to break down the meat. You can use salt or a tenderizer. And you, of course, want to use your spices, seasonings. I like to spice things up with chili powder, ginger, garlic, and mustard, ground mustard. And you need something, a little bit of sugar. So you can use white or brown sugar, doesn't matter. So you want to put your olive oil or whatever your preference is. You can use regular vegetable oil inside the marinade. Stir it just a little bit, and you just pour it over the meat and then just kind of massage it through the meat and let it marinate for at least 30 minutes, but you can marinate it up to a couple of hours depending how much time you have. So I'm going to simply take a Ziploc bag. I'm pouring the marinade into the Ziploc bag with the meat, and I'm just going to shake it up a little bit, tie it up, and then zip it up and then put it in the refrigerator. Here's the marinade that I've already started. The marinade is pretty simple. I basically use brown sugar, red pepper, black pepper, balsamic vinegar, a little Worcestershire, a little soy sauce, and a little red wine vinegar. And just stir it up, mix it, and then you're going to pour it on top of your chicken that's already been cut into small chunks. My chicken has been marinating for about 2 hours, and here is what it looks like inside. You can see the garlic, the pepper, and all those good seasonings. It's soaked in. And then I have another Ziploc bag filled with cornstarch. So I'm going to coat it and then fry it. So I'll show you. It simply has cornstarch. And we drop the chicken in, and now we're going to shake it up, and we're going to fry it in the peanut oil. As you can see, the chicken's frying up really nicely. And now it's almost time to flip it. So you're just going to take your fork and kind of flip it over. And you may have to flip it a couple times because you want it brown on each side, but not brown, but just kind of light brown. And you're going to flip it. And once it's actually brown, it's done because it's chopped so small that it's not going to take a lot of time to cook it. So just kind of use your fork to maneuver the chicken around in the skillet. And once it browns, flip it over and then brown the other side, and then you're done with this part. And then we'll come back later to wrap up this dish with the frying, or the easiest part actually, which is sauteing the vegetables and putting those all together, okay? So you can see my chicken's cooking quite nicely. It's browning, so I'm actually flipping. And as I flip, I maneuver it through the peanut oil so it cooks evenly. Once all my chicken is brown, I'll put it on a paper towel to dry it or drain all the excess oil off. And then I'll be ready for my stir fry, and then finally I'll be ready to combine all my ingredients. Comes the fun part. You have your sauce for your Kung Pao chicken and your thickening agent, which in this case is going to be cornstarch and water. So for your sauce, it's pretty simple. 2 tablespoons of water, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar. In this case, I substituted a combination of balsamic vinegar and white cooking sherry. 3 tablespoons of honey. I subbed out 2 tablespoons of honey with 1 tablespoons of brown sugar because I wanted it a little bit sweeter, and I like the flavor that the brown sugar gives it. And a tablespoon of sesame oil. I subbed out peanut oil. It doesn't make much difference, but if you're a stickler, by all means use the sesame oil. The cornstarch slurry is just simply 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and 2 teaspoons of cold water. You mix the two and you leave that on standby, because as you cook, after you cook your or stir fry your vegetables, you are going to put that thickening agent in your dish to make it nice and thick. So this part is going to go really fast. So I'm going to switch gears. I'm going to heat up my oil, which is, you can see the skillet here, the flame is getting pretty hot. This is the peanut oil. You can use sesame oil. You just need a high heat oil, and you're going to heat it up pretty high, and you're going to kind of toss your vegetables in there so you can heat those thoroughly, and then you're going to mix in your chicken, which you've already cooked. So give me a second and I'll get that part. As you can see, the vegetables are still nice and crispy. That's how you want them. You're going to add your chicken, and you're going to stir that around and let them continue to kind of absorb the juices. Remember, we've already marinated our chicken and fried it up real crispy. One thing about Asian cooking, they do not, as I mentioned, overcook their vegetables, which I love, which is why Asian is one of my favorite cuisines. And so we kind of undercook our vegetables. Once the chicken is kind of in there and the vegetables have been sauteing a little bit, we're going to quickly just go ahead and add our sauce. And I've already given you the recipe. I will post a complete recipe online. So we're just going to take the sauce that we've already pre-mixed. We're going to add that to the chicken. Let that start. So here we are. Finally, we have added our peanuts, our green onions for garnish, and our carrots. This, my friends, is my version of Kung Pao chicken, which, as I said earlier, google.com. So I hope you enjoy making this recipe as much as I did, and my final presentation of Kung Pao chicken. As you can see, it's still steaming hot. I love to use the milk white dishes because they're so pretty and they film really pretty. But this dish should be served right out of the skillet, hot and steamy, over white or brown rice. Or you could use steamed vegetables if you're on a low carb program. Anyway, enjoy, and next up will be the finishing touch, which will be the shrimp fried rice. Skillet ready for our shrimp fried rice. First thing I'm going to do is stir fry the shrimp, then throw in the rice, a little egg, little onion, and we're basically done. Little soy sauce, little black pepper, red pepper. All right. While the shrimp are cooking until they get opaque, I will throw in some Worcestershire sauce, red pepper, black pepper, and I will sift them to the side. And then the next thing is basically throwing in all the rice ingredients. So hang tight for a minute. Opaque, I put a little crust on them by just letting them brown in the skillet with a little red pepper, Worcestershire sauce, black pepper. So they're good to go. Now you're going to basically throw everything in with the rice. Okay, here's the shrimp fried rice. You got your onion, you got your mixed vegetables, you got your rice. It's sizzling, it's hot. You throw in an egg in the middle, stir fry that, a little soy sauce, a little Worcestershire, black pepper, red pepper, and you're done.